Here we go.
All right, so about to go check out Superman. I'm gonna let y'all know exactly my thoughts on the movie once I come out, but this is me, of course, walking into Superman. So been waiting a long time for this. About to see what James Gunn did, what the DC universe is about to do. We about to get it figured out. See these guys right here. They're probably talking about it right now, but I'm gonna give y'all my opinion. Give me a second.
Movie poster?
All right, y'all. What's good? What's good, man? Back with another one, man. Please do the thing, man. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Man, I just got out of watching Superman. And my out of theater reaction just a couple of seconds ago. I say seconds. It's been a few minutes now. Trash, man. Trash. Oh man, let's just go ahead and get this out the way, man. All right, so y'all saw me walking in. I had mixed emotions about them killing the Snyderverse. The Man of Steel to me was a great Superman movie, although serious, but it was a great Superman movie. Batman v Superman. I liked the movie. I had no problem with Batman v Superman. Even what they were doing with Suicide Squad, trying to set up this DCEU. Even Black Adam, bringing in Superman. Henry Cavill, man, we miss you. Let's just get right into it. All right, I'm going off of memory. So again, I just watched it, so I'm just going off of memory. But those who've already watched it, y'all could help me in the comments. Let's talk about this thing. The movie does come on saying what happened 3 centuries ago. And then of course it talks about 3 decades ago. 3 centuries ago, metahumans came in the world. 3 decades ago, they talk about Clark hitting, and it's mind just showing the ice, so it's gonna give us. I'm already knowing that's gonna give us the scene that we've already seen, the 6 minutes of the trailer that we already seen of Superman being pulled in the ice. But they're speaking on 3, decades ago, Superman coming 3 years ago, him stopping a war. As you can see, 3 months ago, him hooking up with Lois. I forgot what happened 3 months ago, and then 3 weeks ago. Something happened 3 days ago, 3 hours ago, and 3 minutes ago or something. It's just, the setup is weird. And I'm thinking like, man, I couldn't see James Gunn doing this for Guardians of the Galaxy, man. The setup was just weird. But anyway, they go through the scene. We've already seen the scene, and mind you, let me set the setting. My theater was not packed. I'm watching this movie on a 9 o'clock on a Thursday. I go to just a little movie house eatery out here in my neighborhood. Normally for any major movie, this theater might be packed, and it was maybe 50% full. So it wasn't packed. So I'm thinking like, man, wow, Superman is not drawing a crowd like I thought. Mind you, I'm just coming off of Jurassic Park 2 days prior to this. I had to wait. I was out of town for July 4th weekend, but I'm just coming back and I'm watching Jurassic Park, and that movie gets an ovation at the end. They're clapping for Jurassic Park. This movie, silence. At the end, I had to Google if there's an end credit scene. There's a mid credit scene, which people say and they watch it. People are already walking out. They stay. They look at it. It's so stupid. Of the end credit scene, it's so stupid. I even tell my family, I'm like, hey, we're not staying for the mid credit scene was so stupid. I'm like, we're not staying for the end credit scene. I had to Google it while I was sitting there. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and watch all this. So let me just Google it. What's the end credit scene? And I see what it says. Stupid again. Not setting up nothing else in the DCEU. Not setting up nothing. Just stupid. So I'm like, all right, we're leaving. Let's get to the movie, man. Oh, so much crazy. Oh my God, it was just bad. So man, I'm gonna just be jumping around here. Superman, for overall, I'll say David Cornsweet. He's a horrible Superman. He sucks. He's not the Superman. He has the look. He has the dimples. He has the curly hair. He has the height. And I believe he got in shape. But man, this movie was set up to be a comedy, and it's funny because every joke that was in the movie it just fell flat. Like no one laughed. Maybe a couple of laughs, maybe one or two with Crypto. Fell flat. Lex Luthor. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think Lex Luthor was gonna have a great role anyway. He did better than the guy from the Facebook movie. He did Jesse, whatever his name is. He did better than him from Batman v Superman. He did better than him, but this was not it for Lex. Oh my God, this movie. Oh my God, it was bad. All right, let's see. I'm just gonna be jumping around. So, Superman, of course, we see him getting hurt by the sun. And actually, people were very upset about Superman being hurt by the sun, but it actually makes sense in the movie. Again, he's only revealed that he's Superman to the world, I believe, 3 years ago, whatever. That he, showed the world that he's Superman. And they set it up like this is the first fight he lost. So when they say that his ribs are broken, he's messed up, the sun healing him this quickly, you could hear his ribs cracking back in place. They didn't play that in the commercials or in the trailer. You could hear his ribs cracking back in place with his bones. So you're like, okay, that must hurt, and therefore he's hurting. They snap him back. He's like, I'm about to go get back in the fray, about to get back in the fight. And I'm like, well, who's he fighting? And they say the hero of whatever country it was, or the hammer of whatever the country was. And it's actually just Lex Luthor controlling, you don't know it's Ultraman yet, but it's Ultraman in a bodysuit where Lex Luthor is controlling his moves. And he just gets the best of Superman. Now, mind you, I have my daughters here, so my daughters are watching with me, and at the end of the movie, they were asking me, why did Superman get beat up so much? Isn't Superman supposed to be stronger than that? That's what the question of my daughter asked. This is my teenage daughter, or my older daughter. My other daughter said, who are these people? Like, who are all these characters? Who are all these people? Like, Superman, this movie did a horrible job of setting up a world in which someone who doesn't know who Superman is, or just know a little bit about him, putting random people in this movie, from the Green Lantern, Guy Gardner, whatever his name is, Mr.Terrific, Hawk Girl. These are people that no one knows from nothing. Unless you're just a diehard Superman fan, you're just a diehard comic book reader, you're just all into the comic world of Superman. These are people that you'll probably know. But other than that, you do not know these people. Man, the movie was horrible, man. I just hate it so bad because I had such high hopes for the way James Gunn was talking leading up to this movie, and all the media flair, all the marketing that was done. You go everywhere. Even when I picked the seats for the theater, I was using Flickster, I believe, or Fandango. As I was clicking the seats I needed, a Superman symbol came up. I'm like, man, the marketing is crazy to even implement that. They spent a lot of money on the marketing of this film, but I thought they had a better film to set up the DCU. This movie does not make me excited at all about what's coming next. All right, let's get to it. All right, so Superman gets beat up by the Hammer guy. The Hammer guy leaves. Superman stays there. Whatever. Jokes ensue. He goes to work the next day. They make Jimmy Olsen like a Playboy magnet, which, again, this movie's PG-13. So if you have small children, it's a lot of PDA going on in this movie. It's a lot of PDA. So if you're like Christian or Catholic, Jew or whatever, Mormon or whatever, or Amish, you're probably not going to be able to. I don't even know how they're going to show some of these scenes like in China and some of the other countries, Dubai and stuff, how they're going to show this movie inside those countries, because they're very big on not just doing public displays of affection. So they may cut some of these scenes out, but it's a lot of that going on from the get-go, not only from Superman and Lois, from Jimmy, he's being a playboy, all the girls want him, it's weird. Lex Luthor and his girl and what they speak on, it's a lot of that going on. So Superman, of course, he has an interview with Lois. Y'all seen that in the commercial. It's a much longer version of that. A lot of talking, not a lot of fighting, not a lot of Supermaning, but it kind of gives you an idea of what Superman is, kind of his thought process. He has a righteous thought process. And they have his father's played by Bradley Cooper, which was dope. Wish they had more of Bradley Cooper in there. His mother, I don't know who the actress is with that. Hawk Girl, she's played by the girl from Last of Us who plays Dina. She's a 20-year-old actor. I don't know why she's playing Hawk Girl, and you got Guy Gardner, who's a 50-year-old man playing Green Lantern. God, it was bad. Mr. Terrific jokes were failing. It was just bad all over the place, man. It was just bad all over the place, man. This movie, I don't know how anyone's gonna come out of this saying I love Superman movie. And I'm comparing it to the Richard Donner original Superman 1, 2. I might even be comparing it to 3 and 4. I'd rather maybe watch those old ones compared to this one. And this one, again, it had more action, but I want my action to make sense. They brought in Metamorpho, or whatever his name is, who could turn kryptonite in his hand. And man, he had a baby named James with a girl from New York, just a regular white girl. Is weird, man. I don't know what was going on, but anyway, he's Metamorpho. Man, it was just bad. He was God, bad. Again, the decisions of everything of that was bad. When Superman freed himself from that little pocket dimension, they had like a river of plasma or something. I forgot they called it, where it actually could have killed Superman. He was gonna get sucked in a black hole being in it. But I'm like, the terminology they were using, I'm trying to look over at my daughter. I'm like, man, they're just saying such big words. I'm like, I mean, not saying they're big words, but I'm looking at a child may not be able to keep up with what was going on in this movie as far as just what is even happening. Every punch that Ultraman threw, it was being controlled by Lex Luthor. He's saying 7A is a particular move, 1B, particular move, 5A, 5B. I'm like, God, man. I'm like, this movie, they say that people were so excited to watch the movie because they say it was ripped from a comic book. Scenes like they were ripped from a comic book. This is probably why they don't actually put comic book type movies on the big screen, or put comics on the big screen, because some comics should not be put on the big screen. It doesn't make sense. When I tell you that when Superman was deemed the bad guy, Lex Luthor broke into his, and mind you, this is all spoilers, so just know what it is. Lex Luthor has broken into the Solitude and Fortress, the Fortress of Solitude. Lex Luthor broke into that. He, of course, had the final copy of what Superman parents said. And this is very new to Superman, that his parents wanted him to actually take over Earth. That, from what they're saying, that this video is real, they wanted him to have multiple wives, to where they started a hashtag super harem. They wanted just a bunch of women under Superman, and all the women are yours. These humans are meek and they're useless. You take over, you rule as a god, is what his parents told him. They're like, this video is real. I'm like, what is going on? What is going on? So anyway, with that being said, he takes a break from fighting crime. He was looking for his dog. Lex Luthor had kidnapped his dog. And you see this alien in the back that you can see Hawk Girl, Mr. Terrific, and Green Lantern fighting. And Superman is not worried about it. He's just talking with Lois about, hey, I don't want to do this. I'm looking for my dog, blah, blah, blah. My girl yawned at that moment, man. They're having a conversation, and my girl just, and I'm like, wow, the audience, nobody was laughing, nobody's clapping, nobody's like, ooh, ah. There was no noise in the audience. Again, maybe 2 laughs at the whole movie. And there was a lot, out of 2 laughs, out of maybe 40 jokes that try to go through on the movie. 40 physical jokes, spoken jokes. Nothing is hitting, man. And I'm like, this is crazy, man. I felt embarrassed for spending as much money as I did in taking my family out to watch this. I easily spent over $150 just on the food. The tickets itself were $70, $80 for 4 people. The food was $80 something. Man, it was crazy. And I'm like, I wanted my money back. And I said, I don't know how this is going to be the DCEU going forward. I don't know how Batman's going to be in this world of comedy. From the movie The Batman, from Man of Steel, all that stuff is done in a more serious tone. I think when Christopher Nolan made The Dark Knight, he actually changed the comic book movies for the better, because it actually made, not only The Dark Knight was, what it was, it made Iron Man serious. It made technically Thor serious, Captain America serious. These movies weren't comedies. They were very serious movies. All the Marvel movies were serious, if not drowned in action. There's nothing comedic about these movies. All the Marvel movies, outside of a couple, were all very serious movies. This movie is strictly, I think, geared to be a comedy. I'm watching when the kaiju comes, they let the kaiju out, it looked like Lilo and Stitch. It looked like Stitch. They let the Stitch run around. And I'm like, even as it grew, my daughter asked, why is the the monster looks so friendly. It's just he's fighting a giant Stitch monster that's just technically be sold as a cute monster. He's just fighting it, and you're supposed to think that this monster is deadly. It's all bad, man. I'm like, Henry Cavill would never have signed up to be this Superman. I know he was upset about getting fired as Superman from James Gunn, but after he read this script, he would have opted out of playing Superman. He's like, this doesn't make sense for me to go from Man of Steel, Batman be Superman, show up in Black Adam for what I'm supposed to do next as far as a fight with Black Adam, and then I'm fighting a kaiju that looks cuddly. It's just so bad. Anyway, the movie's bad. I don't know what James Gunn is gonna do next. Again, they had Peacemaker in the movie. Actually, I'm okay with the Peacemaker show. I heard season 2 is coming. I'll watch it. Peacemaker actually is a funny show. It has a lot of comedy in it, but to me, it's grounded comedy. So I don't know if you could do grounded comedy in a super meta-human movie. It just doesn't make sense to try to do grounded comedy like some type of The Office. You can't put The Office in a Superman movie. So I'm curious of what you guys thought, man. This is just my first out of theater review. This is as authentic as it is. I haven't watched no other reviewers. I'm gonna go watch a couple, man. Shout out to Chris Stuckman, a few other guys, Jeremy Johns. I'm gonna go watch their stuff. Tyrone Magnus. I'm gonna go see what they thought about this movie. And I've been following Tyrone Magnus. He knew this movie was gonna suck. Like he knew this movie was gonna suck. He just kept saying, "Man, this is gonna suck. This is gonna suck." And as the trailers came out, he knew the trailers were hokey. I know James Gunn probably heard people saying the trailers were hokey. It wasn't until the last trailer that came out that everyone was saying, okay, this movie's gonna be okay. This movie's gonna be okay. That last trailer where Superman's spinning with his I-beam at the very end, people were like, this movie might be good. But I was just wondering, even as I was watching that trailer, even though these scenes look great, straight out of the comic, but it looks amazing, I'm like, how are they gonna fit all this into a 2-hour movie with no origin story? With no set, it's like it was so much going on. The LexCorp guys, kaijus, the Metamorphoso with a baby. Like I'm like, there's so much going on in the trailer. This seemed like a mini series. Like this should be like a 12-episode, 10-episode mini series on a grand scale. And I'm like, how are they gonna fit all this in the movie? And sure enough, there's no way they could have fit. There's no way that they did put all that in the movie and had it make sense. It just didn't make sense. A lot was going on. You didn't know what was going on. Mr.Terrific's, his jokes weren't landing. The T-balls, come on, man. Come on, just doing the black guy skit, the token black guy. Come on, man. You brought a dog, man. I'm like, oh, God, man. Shit. I don't want to cuss. I'm sorry, y'all. It was a bad movie. I want to see it. I was going to wait and watch it later and just hear reviews, but I didn't want no one to spoil it for me and tell me it was bad. I want to see if it was bad for myself, and it was. Superman sucks. Superman's trash. I'm excited to get back into the Marvel swing of things. I'm excited for Fantastic Four. I'm excited to even stay for after credit scene that makes sense, that pushes a plot forward to another movie we may want to watch. So even if it's Doctor Doom coming out at the end of Fantastic Four, I'm excited for that. Robert Downey Jr. just showing his face. And then let's go ahead and get to what is it? The Avengers, man, Doomsday. Let's get to Avengers Doomsday. Let's get to Secret Wars. Let's get back to good movies, man. This DCU is going to fail. It's not going to be great. Suicide Squad, I think, was in this universe because Rick Flag was there. The new Suicide Squad with Idris Elba. I believe that's in this universe. But, man, I don't know. Anyway, a lot of PDA. Lex Luthor was David Cornsweet, it was okay. Lois Lane, okay. Again, script was crazy. I didn't like Mr.Terrific. I didn't like Hawkgirl. I didn't like Guy Gardner. I didn't like Metamorpho, whatever his name is. I didn't like the Russian, I forgot the president of the country. I didn't like him. The fact that he even had more than one scene is crazy. I didn't like him. I didn't like the set piece designs. I didn't like the buildings. I didn't like the split in the ground. I didn't like the concept. I didn't like the threats. Nothing was cool. This movie was probably, again, the worst Superman movie next to Superman Returns, which was the one that, of course, Bryan Singer did. And that's just because he didn't fight anybody. That's just because he just fought nature. All right, man, I'm rambling. It's late. I'm sorry. I would say I'll do a better video later. And this is a spoiler video, so spoiler. There you go. Superman sucks. Superman's trash. I hate I watched it. I wish I could have just stayed in the hopes that never seeing it and just hearing stories about it, I would have felt better. But what can you do? Anyway, do me a favor. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe. Let's jump in the comments. Let's have a conversation. What are your thoughts? What's your favorite Superman movie? What are your thoughts about this one? How was your theater when you watched it? Did anyone clap at the end? Did you stay for the end credits? And what are your thoughts on the end credit scenes, the mid credits? Man, just let's have a conversation, man, because, boy. All right, we out.